Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our session. I wish I'd thought of that. I wish I'd thought to take a leak before I came on stage because I'm really desperate to go now. Right. Could we start with a show of hands? Who here has actually heard of SOFII? Oh, blimey, I'm preaching to the converted. So for those of you who don't know what SOFII is, we're a UK charitable foundation, and we're called the Showcase of Fundraising, Innovation and Inspiration, or SOFII for short. We run a... Oh, I forgot my clicker. God, I'm so polished. It's great. So we run an international website that's been developed by fundraisers for fundraisers. And it's quite possibly the best website in the world. But that's just my opinion. Now, SOFII was founded in 2007 by Ken Burnett, who you'll be hearing from shortly. And in those days, it consisted of just a couple hundred pages. Nowadays, there's over 1,000 different inspiring features, including our fundraising history, step-by-step explanations of successful campaigns, and fundraising how-to articles. And it's all there for free. Now, Ken was inspired to create SOFII following some work he did for BookAid International in the UK. He helped them to create the Reverse Book Club. This was a highly successful regular giving scheme. Donors basically paid monthly, and they had books sent to Africa in their name. It's a great idea, but I have to tell you something. Ken actually nicked it. It's not his idea at all. Now, he quite readily admits to this. You might not know it to look at him, but he's actually been around a few years, just a few. And he remembered from way back in the 70s that the American Bible Society had a scheme called the Reverse Bible of the Month scheme. So it's a similar thing. Donors paid monthly, and the Bible got sent to China or somewhere else in their name. So Ken took that concept, and he adapted it for BookAid. Now, some might call this theft. Some might call it plagiarism. But, you know, that's kind of like flattery, isn't it? Some might even just call it plain old recycling. But personally, I call it innovation and inspiration. Taking an old idea, adapting it, and turning it into something new. And that basically is the whole ethos of SOFII. Because now you don't have to be as old as Ken or have a fantastic memory to be a brilliant fundraiser. All you have to do is go to the SOFII website. It's all there on SOFII. Any fundraiser anywhere can borrow any of our ideas and be inspired by them. Ideas that can help fund life-changing work all over the world. After all, why should you have to reinvent the wheel when you can learn from the lessons of the past? Or here's another way of looking at it. It's the early bird that gets the worm, but it's the second mouse that gets the cheese. So sit back, everyone. I hope you find some inspiration and some ideas from our 12 hand-picked speakers. I'd like to introduce our first speaker. He's the founder and managing trustee of SOFII. He's also my boss. I think his Twitter profile describes him pretty well, and it says, a writer who enjoys listening, watching, and learning, but is often found talking. Here's my boss, Ken Burnett.